So we've talked in the past about facial recognition, and here's two in one go. Another company that's in the news, everybody loves to talk about facial recognition. This is going on the other side of the kind of controversy of why people are nervous about facial recognition and why many governments are starting to legislate. Clearview looking to get towards 100 billion images of faces. And while they say in the article that they're all legit, getting their images from legitimate sources, that sounds
well, and what does that even mean?
That sounds somewhat questionable because I don't know where.
That essentially that just means we're not being regulated out of business yet. So
yes, so
yeah, I mean, to see. Legitimate sources.
Yeah, Facebook have actually banned their CEO from their platform. They're not allowed to scrape, even though I'm sure they are. But
yeah,
this is where it does bring up interesting questions. Now, interesting questions, but potentially a really interesting service, because what they're going for, obviously, with 100 billion images from, they're scraping Russian social media, Chinese WeChat, all of those things, is to get everybody's face and be able to spot everybody. And then they become the one-stop shop for who's doing what, where. A lot of power.
It's an insane amount of power. It's unconscionable to me that they're not being shut down in every country in the world right now.
And so, interesting that they're raising, or they have raised a lot of money, because that's a deck to investors. I don't see that as being tenable.
14 photos for each of the 7 billion people on Earth.
Yeah. So interesting if it's a service, because
it's crazy. I think, and I don't know if this is completely done, but I believe Australia has demanded that they delete all Australians' faces. I could be wrong on that, but I did read a headline, something about that recently.
I think you're right. I think a lot of people will be going after them.
So. And on the flip side, I also heard that the Ukraine is using it to identify Russian soldiers.
Yes. So
and then go after their families and say, did you know that your son, daughter, probably son is over here, killing Ukrainians.
So lots of controversy there, but yeah, interesting one to keep your eye on. See how that one plays out, particularly with regulations.
Yeah.
There you go. There's that a bit of controversy for today. Might add some in a bit later on though.